Welcome to Queenstown Stadium in Singapore. The Plus500 Brumbies are breaking new ground this evening as they compete for the inaugural Austbrokers Cup here in beautiful Singapore. We're at the Queenstown Stadium for the match between the Brumbies and the Asia Pacific Dragons, and I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator for this clash. Joining me in the commentary box for the first half at least is Simon Chester, commercial manager for the Brumbies. And Simon, it's been a successful week so far for the group, and we're hoping to finish it off tonight with a good game.
Yeah, absolutely, Russ. It's been a great week. We've gone out to a lot of the local schools and promoted rugby and helped them grow the game, and then it all finishes off tonight with this great game against the Asian Pacific Dragons, which I'm sure is going to be a really tough and close encounter.
Big news, I guess, coming out of the lineups at the moment that we've released just before kickoff was the return of Thomas Cabelli and Christian Leleafano to the Brumbies bench. That's great news for those two boys and for the Brumbies to have them back in action.
Oh, absolutely, especially heading into the finals in a bit over a month's time. To have players of the calibre of Christian and Thomas back is sensational.
The Brumbies lineup tonight, the front rows Nick Mayhew, Robbie Abel and Les Lualaili make him. Jordan Smiler and Tom Staniforth make up the second row. Ben Hine, Tom Kuzak and Lolo Whakasalia in the back row. Halfback pairing of Ryan Lonigan and Wharanui Harawa. Andrew Muirhead and Andrew Robinson are the wings. Jordan Jackson Hope and Nigel Arwong in the centres. And Tom Banks will play at fullbacks. It's a pretty strong lineup, Tom.
Yeah, really strong, minus the Wallabies guys obviously, and then a couple of guys that are having a rest, but it's a very strong Brumbies side tonight.
And the lineup for the Asia Pacific Dragons: George Boas, Sakono Pole, Matisse Bassel on the front row, Brad Tucker and Mark Pryor in the second row, Kane Bukat, Foto Lokatui, Sony Misalai in the back row, the halfbacks of Sakuisa Gavidi and Joe Reynolds, Johnny Nasolo and Cornel Hendricks on the wing, Lex Kaletha and Cardiff Vaiga in the centre, Sela Toga at fullbacks, and it's the Brumbies who get us underway. Wharanui Harawa kicking the match off. Brumbies attacking to our left in the first half. Very hot and humid conditions here this evening, Simon. It's going to be a warm one for the boys as they get onto the attack straight away.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm sitting up here, Russ, because it looks very, very, very hot and humid down there.
It's pretty warm for both teams. Asia Pacific Dragons, of course, coming back from the Mauritius Tens, where they played under the moniker of the Africa Pacific Dragons, and that's their fly half. Reynolds clearing upfield early on. A chance perhaps for the Brumbies with Banks to take it back into contact. He's managed to offload. And it's Lonigan with his first touch of the ball. Can't quite bring that into his grasp, but the Brumbies have been turned over here, and that's well played by the Dragons and Lokatui as they burst up the middle of the park, showing good signs early on. The scrum half, Gavidi, finds Lokatui again, takes it into contact. And a little box kick to test the Brumbies. Banks calls to the marks and takes it well. It's going to be difficult conditions for both teams, though, isn't it, Simon? Really, with the greasy ball and the hot and humid conditions, and I can't stress it too much. It's about 80% humidity here and about 32 degrees.
Yeah, I think we saw a bit of that then, Russ, in that opening session of play with a few balls going to ground due to the humid and hot conditions, making the ball very, very slippery.
But they can't find touch, and off come the Asia Pacific Dragons. That's Misulai taking it into contact. Gavidi. Reynolds tries a little grubber in behind the Brumbies defence, but it's well covered by Harawa. Scragged pretty quickly for Whananui Harawa. And Lonigan. Inside ball from Staniforth. And a slight knock on there, and a chance perhaps for the Dragons. Early signs that handling is going to be difficult.
Yeah, we've seen a few drop balls early on. Probably a combination of the ball being a bit slippery, but also the guys having their first hit out since, especially for the Brumbies guys, since their win over the Rebels a few weeks ago.
The game has been the pinnacle of the week, of course. There's been plenty of stuff going on off the field, lots of school visits as well, which has been well received by the local community here.
Yeah, absolutely, Russ. It's good to see how strong the game of rugby here is in Singapore. Hundreds upon hundreds of kids have registered and are playing rugby at various schools. So we went to both public and private schools this week and took the guys out there just to help them, show them some skills, sign some autographs, and just really encourage them to keep playing rugby union.
That's nearly changed for the Asia Pacific Dragons. Jack Parfitt's come on in the front row due to a blood injury, and they'll have the first set piece of the evening. Pretty solid looking scrum there. The Brumbies get a shove on in the secondary and they push them back, and that's a great turnover ball, and Lonigan finds Harawa, who kicks it right-footed down the field. It's going to be fielded by the fullback, Toga, whose left foot high into the sky. And again, another mistake at the back by the Brumbies, and that'll be a knock-on. And but apart from that error there, Simon, great scrummage from the Brumbies 8 there to shove the Asia Pacific Dragons off the ball and win a turnover.
Absolutely, Russ. And for those that have been watching the Brumbies play this year, you'll see that they do have a very good set piece, line out and scrum. And that was a perfect example of it then, with the Dragons having the ball and the Brumbies pushing them off it and getting it back very, very quickly. But then again, with the slipperiness of the ball, a mistake through a knock-on, and the Dragons will have another crack at us here.
Yeah, second scrum of the game, and reasonable position for them on the far-hand side. Most of the crowd that's in the ground is on this near side in the main stand, and in the hospitality tents behind the post. And again, it's a fairly solid scrummage, and this time they go quickly, and it's the centre, Kaletha, who takes it into contact up towards the 22. Here's Bukat. Scramble on the floor, Gavidi's got it. Staniforth who takes him down. Here's Parfit, the replacement. Good continuity from the Asia Pacific Dragons. Reynolds, Kaletha. The Brumbies on the back foot early on in the first 4 minutes of the match. It's the big prop forward, George Bower. They're edging closer to that Brumbies line as well. Pryor takes it on, but it's lost forward, and a bit of a respite for the Brumbies, and Lonergan will clear to touch. But they showed some good signs there. The Dragons there could be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the bulk of the squad coming off a relatively successful Tens tournament in Mauritius, so they're match fit, and they've come here to play, which is great to see.
Yeah, they went early with the line out, and Banks has just smashed that into touch, and there'll be a line out close to us here. It's early evening here in Singapore, and the skies are darkening, so the lights are coming on. Amazing city, isn't it, Simon? And you know, rugby's taking off here with the Sunwolves playing some matches here as well.
Yeah, great city. First time visit for a lot of the Brumbies players, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Obviously, we've still got a job to do over here, and we've been training hard and in the gym, but in the free time, the guys have really enjoyed getting out to some nice restaurants and having a look at the sites that Singapore has to offer.
Yeah, and plenty of them as well. The line out is to the back, and they take it well. It's Gavidi. On the short inside pass is Hendricks, the returning Springbok. And the ball is back again. There's a long pass out wide to this near side where Toga takes it. He's scragged in the tackle by Robbie Abel. And he's not letting go of that one, and the Brumbies will get a penalty, and some excellent defensive work by, I think that was Robbie Abel who was involved there.
Yeah, the Brumbies have been having to defend for the majority of this first session of play, so they get an opportunity to go on the attack. Interesting to see. Capitalise on it.
Yeah, they haven't had any ball inside the Asia Pacific Dragons half yet, which is, I wouldn't say a worry at the moment, but it's something they'll certainly want to improve on. And here's an opportunity to do so as Haroa finds touch. Some 15 metres or so inside the Asia Pacific Dragons half. I'm sure the pack won't be in any hurry to get there this afternoon. It's a, as I mentioned before, very hot day. It's been a hot week for all the boys. Let's see what they can come up with this line out. Robbie able to throw towards the back, and it's taken well by Tommy Cusack, and here's Lonergan. The short pass is taken on a bit further. Lonergan again. Inside ball to Staniforth. Up to the edge of the 22. Here's Lonergan. Abel. Brumbies go again. Here's Harrow, a little grubber in, looking for the runner, who's Robinson on this near side, and he's got Hendricks in his grasp, but the whistle's gone, and it's a penalty for offside. Good little move there for the Brumbies.
Yeah, we've started to see a bit of that over the last few Brumbies encounters, a little kick through for the winger or fullback, and that one very nearly came off if it wasn't for a good defence there from the Dragons. So the Brumbies will have another crack now and go to the line.
Yeah, on the tour of Argentina and South Africa, they scored a couple of tries off those grubbers. Very important kicks through the defence, which works a lot these days, as Harrow kicks to the line, and this is a chance for the Brumbies to show their much vaunted line out. And I'd imagine we'll get a rolling maul at the back of this one.
Yeah, I think so, Russ. It's been the go-to play for quite some time now, and the Brumbies do it very well. They still have been scoring a lot of tries out wide, and I think the success of this play that they're running now has probably helped to create a bit more space for the backs, and teams aren't really sure how to defend it.
It's taken by Cusack, and it's collapsed straight away, so there's no chance for that maul to get going. But the Brumbies will dig in and get that ball very close to the Asia Pacific Dragons line. Pick up and drive. It's Mayhew who's in there. Good defence from the Dragons, though, keeping out the Brumbies at the moment. Making goes left, and the ball's lost forward again. And there's little errors so far in the first 8 or 9 minutes. Dan McKenna won't be happy with those so far.
No, it's yeah, it might be a combination of some rustiness, haven't played a game for a little while, or the conditions out here. But yeah, there's just been a couple of early drop balls, and that one in particular, 10 metres from the line, Brumbies on the attack. Really good opportunity wasted there.
It was a dangerous position to be in, but chance for the Dragons, who defended it pretty well, to be fair. And they have the opportunity now to clear their lines. I mentioned the bench early on, featuring Thomas Kibeli and Christian Leleafano. A couple of local products there as well. Simon in Sione Towler, Darcy Swain and George Morceau. Some club footballers coming on the tour and getting the opportunity to show what they've got. Great
opportunity for the club players that have joined us to live and breathe it for a week full time, and learn off the contracted players, and you know, just experience a great rugby tour that this has been. It's yeah, really great to see the local Canberra clubs represented on this tour.
Yeah, we see one of the 4 boys, Andrew Robinson's out there on the wing at the moment, so I'm sure we'll see the other 3 later on as the Dragons clear their lines again with a big kick downfield, but Banks has got this one covered. And a chance back to counter from deep as Tom Banks brings it forward. Beats the first tackle, but it's taken, knocked backwards. Managed to recycle though, and Lonergan can start it again. Staniforth playing at first receiver. And a big hit on Fakasalir, and they've turned the ball over. And here come the Dragons with Vaiga. Brumbies on the back foot at the moment, but defending well. And Jordan, that's Lola Fakasalir making up for that error, who's gone in with a tackle. His Reynolds, though, it's a very flat pass, so it looked like it went a bit forward out of their hands there, and it did indeed. Unfortunately for the Brumbies that he didn't get that right, because Hendricks was in a bit of space.
Yeah, there was definitely some space there, Russ. So it's yeah, an opportunity probably wasted there for the Dragons, but you know, still early days and 0-0, and both teams look very evenly matched so far.
We saw them walk in, didn't we, in the Asia Pacific Dragons, and there's some big boys in that side, isn't there?
Massive, yeah, very big guys, and yeah, as I said, they look like they're working well as a combination, and they're here to play.
Well, this is the sort of test that the Brumbies wanted, I guess, for these boys, as Smiler wins that line out. Controlling at the back is Abel, but the ball's going nowhere at the moment. Now there's a bit of a march on. Abel goes to ground, and a penalty is the result. Much better line out that time, and the Dragons couldn't cope with that one.
Yeah, that was a good line out there for the Brumbies, and they'll have a kick for touch. They're 60 metres out from where they want to end up and score a try, so they'll get this down as far as possible and hopefully win the line out and put some points on the board to start things off for this game.
Well, it's a fairly acute angle for Haddower, but he's got the boot to do that, and he's knocked it down onto the 22. A chance for the Brumbies to set something up. Interesting selections out there as well. Simon Nigel R1 getting a chance in the centre as well. He's certainly got the size and the pace to play there.
Yeah, one of the good things about these, when the June breaks on, we get the opportunity to try some different players in new positions, and even try a few new tactics. The Brumbies have got two regular season Super Rugby games to go, and then a quarter final. So, you know, who knows which of these guys will be starting in that final. It's these sort of games are perfect for testing that out and giving the coaches a bit of a look at the sort of next crop.
There was another mistake there. Quick line out was well played, and Cusack played scrum half. His pass was okay, but it was lost forward again. But the Brumbies can bring it back. And that was Robinson who was dancing in there, but they've turned over the ball once more. And worrying signs, I guess, for the Brumbies. They need to settle into this one perhaps a little bit more. Here's Lokatui. It's there again for the Dragons. And a kick from Reynolds will send the ball deep, and Robinson will be under this, and he can't gather it in, and Hendricks is coming across, but Banks has covered the ball well, and off he goes up the ring and kicks the ball into field. But Reynolds will have a second opportunity, and left-footed this time. It's a better kick, more distance, but it's still not found touch, and Hadua can throw it in field, and it's not a good pass again, and Muirhead this time is the one who puts it down, but recovers to kick to touch, and he's not found touch either, and it's a plethora of errors from both teams at the moment as Lokatui takes it forward again. Quick ball for the Dragons on that far side. Veiga tries to play an offload, and back they come towards the grandstand side. The recycle's quick and good. Here's the number 8, Misulai. And it's the number 15, Toa, playing most of the scrum half role at the moment. A little chip forward for Gavidi, and the runners are after it, and Banks comes across and again diffuses that one. The third or fourth time he's had to do that so far, and lots of errors though.
Yeah, we're still seeing lots of drop ball out there, Russ, and yeah, combination I think really of that rustiness. But I mean, the water bottle's slipping off out of my hand up here, so I can only imagine how bad it is down there.
Yeah, we've only been talking for about 14 minutes, and we probably could have gone through about 10 water bottles by now. It's incredible. If you've never been out here, the humidity is unbelievable. And there's boys out there doing their best as they can. But here's an opportunity for the Asia Pacific Dragons, and it's a lovely run down the left-hand side. Veiga's taking it on from the run from Nasolo, and they're up towards the try line. They're only 5 metres short, and the Brumbies are on the back foot. In goes the prop forward. It's Parfit, the replacement. He's hauled down by Mayhew. And there's a little knock on at the end of that, fortunately for the Brumbies. But once again, the Asia Pacific Dragons showing they're going to be no pushovers here tonight.
Yeah, great defence there from the Brumbies. But once again, the Asia Pacific Dragons attacking their line, retaining the ball well, getting lots of bodies to the breakdown, and are playing some beautiful rugby at the moment. And surprised that they're not on the scoreboard as yet.
Yeah, no score after 15 minutes. But it's been a good test for the Brumbies. It's not been as perhaps as straightforward as some people may have predicted. We're having a little bit of a drinks break here at the moment. I think there's some water going on the field. There's a player down injured. It's one of the Asia Pacific Dragon forwards. Looks like he's got a bit of a cramp there already. Just goes to show you how hot it really is.
I think the players are going to appreciate the water coming out to them now, because it's been quite a fast-paced first 15 and a half minutes, and yeah, they certainly look like they're very thirsty.
Yeah, just in the back of your picture there, you can see a lot of Whakasalia getting a bit of attention from the doctor and Dr. Steve Freeman and the physio Byron Field, and got a bit of a knock there to the head maybe for Lolo. Bit of communication coming back towards the bench. May see a change here for the Brumbies, but probably Jared Butler if it is to come on, which I think he's going to. Just precautionary, you'd guess, Simon?
Yeah, I think so, Russ. It didn't look like much there, but they might just be cleaning up the nick, the blood, or whatever's caused the damage, and getting back on there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we're scheduled to have a couple of drinks breaks during the game, around about the 20-minute mark. Whether that will count as it, we'll wait and see, I guess. So we're playing 2 40 minutes, of course, and we're having a couple of drinks breaks, 1 per half. And a shorter half time as well, Simon.
Yeah, only a smaller half time tonight, 5 minutes, and 2-minute break at each of the 20-minute marks. So in about 3 or 4 minutes, the guys will get an opportunity to have a bit of an extended break and hear from their respective coaches, and get out there for another 20 before half time.
Well, Lonergan feeds this scrum, and it needs to be solid from the Brumbies. They're right on their line, and they work it well clear. And Lonergan's kick is a good one, a very good one. Found some good distance as well, and push the Asia Pacific Dragons back towards halfway. You're watching a live stream of the Asia Pacific Dragons against the Plus500 Brumbies, brought to you on the Brumbies website and Facebook pages, and it's great that we're able to do this at this time of year, Simon, as well. You mentioned with no rugby for club level for a couple of weeks, it's good to be able to get a run under the belt and bring some rugby to the folks back home.
Oh, absolutely. The month break for the test, inbound tests that are happening at the moment with the Wallabies, our guys need to be playing some rugby because we come back into the competition at the end of that June break.
Well, what a run this is from Nasolo. He's gone past 2 or 3 and he's been dragged down the inside pass. Is brilliant. There's an opportunity for the first try of the game. We're going to get one from Lex Kaletha, and that's come off of a line out which the Brumbies couldn't cope with. And what a break inside from the left wing, Johnny Nasolo, and he's finished it off with an offload to Kaletha, who did brilliantly to score.
Absolutely beautiful try there, Russ. Well worked. It was, very good to watch, and they deserve those points for the amount of time they've spent camped down here, and well deserved and great try.
Yeah, you can see they played together a bit before, these boys, and they certainly know what they're doing. It's not the scratch team that many were led to believe, and that was a great score as well. They've worked it beautifully off the line out. It was a bit scrappy initially, but that break from Nasolo, he took 2 or 3 players with him, and the presence of mind when he was tackled to offload to the support runner, who crossed over quite comfortably.
Yeah, and there seems to be a few very fast outside backs in that Dragon side. So when they turn it on, they really move.
Here's a replay. We're looking at, there was the ball in offload, and Kaletha's angle was excellent and got him away from Nick Mayhew, who was running back there, and I think it was, and Tommy Cusack as well, trying to cover. Reynolds to line up the conversion. Strikes it well. It's a good left-footed kick from Reynolds, and that's gone through the uprights as well. And all of a sudden, we have a 7-0 ball game in favour of the Asia Pacific Dragons. And here's the 2-minute drinks break that we just alluded to a couple of minutes ago. And Dan McKellar's making his way down to the side of the field. Head coach here in the absence of Stephen Larkham away with the Wallabies duties. He'll take over full-time next year, Simon, and a very popular choice as well.
Yeah, Dan's been at the club for some time now in an assistant role. He knows the players, he knows the process, he knows the programs that we run by, and I think it's just a perfect fit for Dan to step up and fill those shoes, big shoes to fill from Stephen Larkham, but Dan is well and truly up to it. As I said, having been at the club, understanding the way the Brumbies want to play, the culture, and our presence and importance in the community. So great opportunity for Dan, and very pleasing for the club that we've been able to get a commitment from such a high quality and calibre coach.
Talking of the community rugby, there's plenty of community rugby this weekend in Canberra, and for those of you who may be watching this stream and aren't aware, we do live stream a live match every week, from the John O'Dent Cup, the Aquis Entertainment John O'Dent Cup, and it's good quality stuff if you watch the game. Oh, very good. Yeah, I sat on the couch a couple of weeks ago and watched Royals and Wests, West and Gungahlin, great game, and that's anywhere you are in the world, you can tune in and watch some really high quality local Canberra rugby. Yeah, that's through our Facebook page as well, and our ACT New South Wales Facebook page as well. So if you can't get to a game this weekend, or you're somewhere else in the world and you want to watch some local rugby, feel free to tune in to that one. We've had nearly 20 minutes here at Queenstown Stadium, and it's 7-0 to the Asia Pacific Dragons. We've enjoyed ourselves so far. Seen some decent rugby from both teams, but of course a lot of errors, which we keep going back to the conditions. But it is difficult to tell you how hard it is for those boys out there. But I'm sure they will want to make amends for that and get on the front foot when we restart. Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got a bit of a rev up there, us at the quarter break, and I also think they probably maybe didn't expect this sort of standard from the Pacific Dragons of not knowing the players and not having seen them play before. But they are a very handy team, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. Yeah, if we weren't sure of that before, and they certainly are after this 20 minutes as Harrow restarts, and be brought back straight away, and it's a missed tackle already on the number 5, Mark Pryor, who sets the ball back. And it's Mattis Basson who plays scrum half on that occasion. Gavidi's back in there on this time, and Reynolds will complete the clearance. Once again, he opts for the high contestable ball in the middle of the field, and Banks comes forward and does really well to grab that one on the fall. Wouldn't been out of place at the ICC Cricket World Championship that one last year, would it? Good take as they Brumbies break his Muirhead. What a chance this is. Here's Nigel R. Wong. First time we've seen him this evening, and he's gone past one, but the offload goes forward, and Robinson will try and pick up, and he still can't finish it in that corner. Great break, though, from R. Wong, showing just what we talked about with that pace and power that he's got. First time he's had his hands on the ball in attacking position, and he almost created something. Absolutely. I think we've got a glimpse there of when the Brumbies get some good ball down this end, they're going to be able to score quite a few points, because that was a beautifully well
worked move, and if it wasn't for one of the Dragons players getting in the way of the pass, it would have been 5 points. So they'll get another opportunity shortly, but great attacking options there from the Brumbies.
Yeah, super break from Wong, and that all came off the back of some good defensive work again from Banks to set everything up. So promising signs in attack there. Chance again to see the scrummage. Just down in front of the hospitality tent over there. Gavini will put it in. And the Brumbies have got a bit of a shove on as well. And they've pushing the Pacific Dragons back here. And they've done pretty well to force them back. It'll be a reset. Good strength from the Brumbies. Set piece is very strong, as Simon alluded to earlier on. He talked about the set piece and the scrum and the maul from the Brumbies, and it is very, very good. Opportunity then perhaps to put some more pressure on this Asia Pacific Dragons defensive scrum. I'm sure they won't be messing around with this one as the shove comes on again. It's a crackle from the Brumbies again, and a superb piece of scrummaging from the Brumbies boys wins them a penalty. And there was nothing the Asia Pacific Dragons could do about that one. The shove came on, and the pack certainly could take the plaudits there. A little pat on the back for everybody, especially in the front row, who certainly got the shove on and have turned this one over, and a chance perhaps then for Harawa to kick to touch again and the Brumbies to set something up close to the Pacific Dragons line. So they've opted for the scrum, which I guess is not a surprise after what we've seen for the last two scrums. So Simon Chester's just left me for a couple of minutes, so we're flying solo at the present. Probably just gone to replenish the waters. As Lonergan looks to feed this one close to the Pacific Dragons line. What have the Brumbies got up their sleeves? Have they got a backline move, or will they go for power and try and shove the Dragons back as far as they can? The shove is on. Robinson came blind, but they have got a push on. It's quite solid though from the Dragons, so they come up. Butler picks it up, comes to Lonergan, who looks to step in field. He's clobbered in the tackle close to the line, but the recycled ball is there. It's a chance for Standerfoot to lay it off to Hine, who's very, very close to the line now. Brumbies digging for the ball, very, very close. Here's a chance perhaps to push towards the line, and they've scored the try. And it looks like it's perhaps Nick Mayhew, perhaps. No, it's Cusack who's coming up from the pile. He's getting the congratulations. So Tommy Cusack's the man who's got the score, and the Brumbies thoroughly deserve that one off the back of some excellent forward play. And Tom Cusack, who hasn't played maybe as many minutes as you'd like in the senior team this year, but certainly signed a new contract with the club last week and showing just what qualities he brings to the team. The boys getting a well-deserved drink after that one, and a great score to get them back into the match at 7-5. Sure we'll see a replay of that one very shortly as Wharanui Harawa looks to add the extras and tie us back up in the 25th minute. Should be kickable, this one, for the Kiwi-born fly half. To the posts. And of course he just slots that one through, and we have 7-all here at Queenstown Stadium, with the Brumbies scoring close to the line, close to the post rather, and Tommy Cusack coming up with the ball. And Simon's rejoining me in the commentary box. And Simon, good to see the Brumbies get over there close to the line.
Yeah, really good there, Russ. Their first opportunity down that half, and they capitalised and got the 7 points. Hopefully they can keep that up and really put a score on here.
Yeah, good recognition from the Brumbies that the scrum wasn't going anywhere, so it was a quick ball off the back, and Lonergan took it on, and when it was recycled once or twice, and then Cusack was on hand to pick up and drive over. And that's a good sign that they picked that straight away, that they weren't going to push them back on that occasion, and tried something different, and it came off. So the Dragons have brought on a replacement. Samuela Sakira is on, and also Apanisa Nasoro. There is rolling substitutes today, which the Asia Pacific Dragons will probably take advantage of. I understand the Brumbies won't, and they'll just make substitutions as they would in a normal match.
Yeah, it makes sense for the Brumbies to do everything as close to an actual Super Rugby game as possible. As I said, leading into the last 2 round games and finals, they want to make sure that they're not throwing out their routine too much, and certainly rolling subs would do that.
Yeah, but you'll see the Asia Pacific Dragons take advantage of that, I'm sure. One of those substitutes is the number 25 here.
Really pleasing to see that some local Singaporean national players been picked in the Asia Pacific Dragons squad, which is just great to see.
Yeah, supporting the local rugby.
Knock on there from the Dragons in the line out, so it's Brumbies ball.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you who number 25 is, but he's not on our team sheet, Simon, so unfortunately we can't. As Lonergan sends a kick downfield. It's well to the back and thump downfield. It's a really good kick over the head of Harawa, who goes back and gets hold of it well in the first instance, but then knocks it on in trying to recover it. And was it out of play initially? It may well have been, so we'll see. It's probably a scrum for a knock-on. It certainly is. And a chance perhaps for the Asia Pacific Dragons to restore their advantage. Well, it must have gone out of play because the line-out's been awarded, so it was out of play before Wharanui Harawa knocked it on, and the Dragons will compete for this line-out. Shortened line-out on this occasion. As the Brumbies send their substitutes down to warm up as well. The ball's overthrown and it's picked up at the back by Cusack, the try scorer, drives it forward. And the kick in the end again is in field. It's contestable, but Hendricks wins it, finds Reynolds, and here's the fullback Toga, who beats a tackle and then goes round a second one and offloads to Kalitha. They're quite dangerous when they get the ball out wide, and there's some backs who've got some pace, and the solo's gone flying down the wing and may have been caught high there by the retreating bank, so the recycled ball is good, and Gavidi takes it on. And Asia Pacific Dragons are there in numbers. His Toa again throws it out the back. It's very loose. Kaletha looked for the kick, but he's now spilt it forward, and we're going to come back for the penalty on the far hand side. And Tommy Banks with the high tackle there on the left wing, and the solo who's still down. And you know, if this wasn't an exhibition game, you're probably looking at yellow card territory there, maybe, Simon.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side of the field for us.
Oh, it is a yellow card. There you
yep, he's given that yellow card out, but yeah, it's hard to see on the other side. Looks like he just caught him a bit high as he was trying to make a try, go to the try line then.
No, and in fact, it was Harawa who's coming off. So it was, like you said, it's difficult to see on that far side. It's a bit darker over in that corner, but it is Wharanui Harawa who's coming off the field. So it's his tackle that was deemed high on the solo. Probably a fair call.
Yeah, having a look at the replay, I think it's a fair call. It just caught him a bit high, and yeah, he'll have to sit in the bin for 10 minutes for that.
Well, and it's a real chance for the Dragons as well, because they're about 5 metres from the Brumbies line, and an opportunity perhaps to throw this ball in and get a bit of a roll on if they can. Test for the Brumbies defensively again, and there's been plenty of that so far this evening. Let's see who they go to in the line-out. It's overthrown the marker, but Tucker's got it. It's Brad Tucker who's taking it forward. Goes to ground. The short offload, and they inch ever closer to the Brumbies line. Defensively, the Australian side are going to have to be up to the challenge here. Gavidi digs, goes left. Chance here for the left wing in the solo. He pops it back in field, and the replacement hooker's close to the line. Denied just short, but they go again, and the Brumbies really on the back foot now. Chance for the Dragons to get back into the front. Here's Gavidi. Reynolds goes himself and is taken down well in the middle of the field by R. Wong. But the scrum half, Gavidi, takes it forward, and he's only inches away from the try line. The Brumbies' defence so far superb. Here they come once more, though. Here's Kaletha. He's taken down. Robinson's involved too and holding it out well. Brumbies digging in there. The ball's come back, though, spat out, and Ben Hine dives on it superbly, and the Brumbies may have turned this one over, and that's excellent defence as Cusack takes it up for a couple of yards. Robbie Abel's in there to support him. Lonergan, and it should be cleared here, but Jackson Hope to Awong, who's lost it forward. Now Gavidi's picked it back up again. And a chance for Apanesi Nasoru.
Big numbers out to the left here, us for the Dragons.
huge numbers out wide. In fact, it's about 6-on-1 if they can get it wide. And they do go that way from Hendricks to Reynolds. There's numbers there. If the pass is good, they must score, but they've dropped it. Togo couldn't take it from Kaletha, but he's picked it back. It's gone backwards.
Wide open line there. Just ball didn't stick.
But the Brumbies have stolen it again on the floor as Banks this time and come back for a knock-on. But some great defence by the Brumbies in the shadows over there on posts.
Yeah, really good there, Russ. They Brumbies have been known for their defence over the past few seasons, and they certainly showed how well they defend in that passage of play.
An excellent play from Ben Hine. The ball spat loose, and he was really sharp onto that one as well. But you think having Howler off the pitch there didn't give us much of a kicking option behind the line, and you could see that when Jackson Hope and Awong tried their luck, didn't quite work for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly noticed it there. Just while the guys are having a bit of a break here, while their injuries get sorted out, be good, Russ, to take the opportunity to thank the sponsors of this week up in Singapore. Major sponsor of the event is Ausbrokers Canberra. The two teams tonight are playing for the Ausbrokers Canberra Cup. Great support from the ACT government and the Visit Canberra brand. Also Tourism Australia, who will feature on the Brumbies jersey tonight. Visit Canberra and the University of Canberra. Without these companies, the Brumbies just simply wouldn't be up here tonight playing in what is so far a tremendous game of rugby. Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see that those companies are behind this match, and like you say, we can see the Ausbrokers Cup down there on the sideline, so it's good to see. A substitution for the Brumbies. Mayhew's come off and Falale Sione has come on for this scrummage, and it's a penalty in the end to the Brumbies. Not releasing is the call, and all that defensive work is rewarded by a chance to clear their lines. Yeah, great defence once again there for the Brumbies. Probably got a few more minutes to go before they get their player back from the sin bin, and then they'll be at full strength. And I really think the Brumbies are going to have an advantage in the fitness department when it comes to the back end of this game. So not only do they sponsor the competition, but they bring water up as well. Is that one of the perks of the job there, Simon? Yeah, we're managing to get some water delivered here. It nearly didn't make it. There's a bit of a fall on the way up, but everyone seems to be intact. Yeah, everyone's okay and made it up to the commentary box on the way. It was a bit of a stack from one of the sponsorship ladies from the Brumbies there, but she's okay, and we will be looking to see that if the Brumbies can kick on from here. It's 7-all. 7-all, very tight battle so far. It's a long kick high into the sky, and it's going to drop down. It's well taken by Cornel Hendricks, and he's steadied his backs into motion again, but the ball is pinging around there. It's very loose, and it's a good challenge in the middle of the park, and it's a reset from both teams, and Gavidi's popped it out the back, and Reynolds, left-footed, has sent this a long way down the field, and it's going to bounce superbly, I think, and back there challenging is Banks. He's going to find Jackson Hope, and a chance for the youngster to clear his lines, which he does pretty well, out into touch, and good clearance, and some decent play from both teams as we see Josh Manray into the fray as well, Simon. Yeah, there seems to be some very tired bodies out there, Russ. Lots of hands on heads, lots of hands on hips. So what do we got? 5 minutes till half time. It can't come soon enough for players on both sides of the field, just with these incredibly hot and humid conditions. It's I mean, it's taking its toll on me up here. I can only imagine what it's like for them down there. Yeah, maybe the plan to not make too many substitutions and actually go to the rolling subs will be shelved a little bit because of this intense heat that we've got here. Yeah, absolutely. It I think it's a good opportunity, but I can understand the rationale behind just playing it as close to a Super Rugby game as possible. So the Asia Pacific Dragons have the line-outs on the far side. They've overthrown this one. It's going to be picked up at the back. It's actually scragged in pretty well in the end. And what a break this is from Basson, the prop forward, I think that is, who's taking it on. And they're up towards the Brumbies line again. And they're going to get a penalty right in front of the post. And Gavidi taps and goes short himself. And it's laid off to Nasoro. Back in field. And another, they've scored, have they? Right under the post, they have. Wow. The angle's deceptive, but it's the number 8 who's got it. Misaloy, who's come over. And that's all come off the back of a quickly taken tap penalty from Gavidi. They've recycled the ball well again, and once again they've shown that in the pack they're pretty mobile, and they've got some big units that take tough to stop. It's a good score. Very impressing, Russ. We've got a game on our hands tonight. The Asian Pacific Dragons have come here to play, and they're skills and ability to retain the ball is really surprising and very pleasing. And look, the Brumbies are going to have to really dig deep and, you know, start holding on to those 50% balls that are going to ground and to win this game, because the Asia Pacific Dragons are a very, very good side.
Well, it's pretty evident, isn't it, that they've got a mixture of those South Sea Islanders that like to go quickly and offload the ball, and the set piece of some ex-Kiwis in there, for some ex-Kiwis, some Kiwi players in there, of course, and yeah, they're looking like a really good unit at the moment, and Joe Reynolds is going to line this one up and likely to add the extra points, and the Brumbies will trail by 7 points again with 3 minutes or so to half-time here at the Queenstown Stadium for the Osbrokers Cup, Osbrokers Canberra Cup, and Whare Nui Harua still sat on the bench, and the Brumbies just with that man down just couldn't defend that line, and good vision from Gavidi to go early and recognise the gap.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good vision there from the Dragons, and yeah, you've nailed it on the head. They've got a really good mix of, you know, powerful forwards and some of those Fijian and Islander outside backs have got an incredible amount of speed and also are very big and strong. So they're certainly testing the Brumbies at the moment.
Yeah, it was Jackson Hope restarts the game, and Reynolds sends that one out. He's maybe not going to find touch. If he does, Brumbies will go quick, maybe. Thought against it on this occasion, and Harua, 10 minutes in the naughty bin, is almost up. He'll rejoin us shortly, and the Brumbies will be back to their full complement. Josh Manray gets the first chance to throw in. Josh Manray's another one that signed recently as well. Simon, he's re-signed and extended his contract, and great to have Bongo back on board for another couple of years.
Yeah, really pleasing. He's playing some amazing rugby, Josh Manray. Seems to be getting better with age, and yeah, I think next year he'll be 36, and but you know, playing like he's not a day over 20. He's one of the fittest and strongest guys on the team, so really pleasing news to hear that he's staying with us for a couple more seasons.
Well, Butler and Makin were involved in this setup, and Hine and Lonergan are involved to get as it goes wide to Muirhead. Haven't seen much of him as an attacking force yet, Andrew Muirhead, but then we haven't seen much of the Brumbies when they've had too much get-to-go ball. Here's Ben Hine looking to change that. But looks like the Asia Pacific Dragons have snaffled that one again as well. They've turned it over, and once again Reynolds is going to kick down the field, and this is becoming an all too common occurrence. This time it bounces into Jackson Hope's hands, and he'll kick to touch again, and we will probably start all over again unless Reynolds goes quickly, which he does, and decides to give it to Misalois, who scored the second try. The pass is to this near side, and it's spelled forward from Vaiga to Hendricks, who's lost that one forward. And a bit of a respite for the Brumbies, but they're not shy of starting off an attack from deep, are they?
No, not at all, Russ. Saw there, they took it from one side of the field to the other in 3 or 4 passes, and they do it very quickly, and then they're looking for those gaps, and once they spot them, they're straight into them. So, yeah, they're a really impressive team to watch.
So we've just got a short stoppage at the moment. This is Brumbies scrummage right in front of us in this quite a decent-looking grandstand we've got here. It's a reasonable crowd in on this near side. Plenty of people enjoying the hospitality in the tent over behind the posts. Call it a nice suburban ground, this one, would you, Simon? It's got the changing rooms, flashback for some of the boys to the old school days, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, a little suburban ground called Queenstown, holds about 3,500, 4,000. We're not at capacity tonight, but a very healthy crowd in, and everyone's enjoying what's a great game. It's probably about 4 or 5 k's out of the main CBD of Singapore. Very accessible, and yeah, a great venue for a game like this.
And they've turned it around pretty well, because it's normally a soccer stadium. That's right, is it?
Yeah, correct. I mean, when we were out here yesterday, the soccer post was still up, so for everyone involved, they've done a great job to turn it into not only a rugby venue, but a really well presented rugby venue.
While we wait for this scrum to feed, plenty of volunteers locally as well that have helped make this one come together.
Yeah, it's been an all hands on deck for the last 3 or 4 weeks. We only decided we were coming up here about 5 weeks ago, and ever since then it's been a mad scramble to get all logistics sorted, but it's all paid off. The school visits this week have been exceptional. The different business connections and the Canberra business community, it's coming along. It's been great. We've got the Chief Minister here tonight from Canberra. We've got Director of International Engagement here, the Australian High Commissioner, Mr. Bruce Gosper's in attendance. So we've been really lucky and fortunate, and it's been a great week. And as I say, finishing off with what's a great game of rugby right now, and the boys will be very eager to come back next year and do it all again.
Well, they need to pick up the game a little bit in this half if they're going to take this trophy with us back to Canberra. There's the hooter goes for half-time, so this will be the last play of the half. It's a good scrummage again from the Brumbies, and Lonergan has it at the base. Here's Harrow, a little hitch kick, takes it into contact. The recycle finds Lonergan, and again the ball is just spilt forward by Staniforth. It's slipped out of his hands, and the knock-on will end the half. As a little short break we've got here, someone. We're going to take a couple of minutes as well, but what's your summation of the first half? Decent effort from both teams.
Very good effort. Asia Pacific Dragons really surprised me with how their intensity, their speed, their power, and the ability to retain the ball. Brumbies great in glimpses, probably just making a few too many errors in that first half, but I've got no doubt that they'll be acclimatised and they'll come out and they'll do an outstanding job in the second half and hopefully get the win. But they've got a fight on their hands. The Dragons are well drilled and well organised, good rugby team.
Cool, so that's the half-time score here at Queenstown Stadium with 40 more minutes of action to come. It's the Asia Pacific Dragons 14, the Plus500 Brumbies 7. So welcome back to Queenstown Stadium, where we're ready for the start of the second half.
For the Dragons and the Plus500 Brumbies.
Probably lots of changes floating around. Just trying to see who and what. We'll figure out what's happening with the lineups as soon as we know. As the Asia Pacific Dragons will start the second half. Reynolds kicks it high. It's bounced off the chest. Tap backwards and lost forward already. And as in the first half, the Asia Pacific Dragons will start on the front foot. Here's Gavidi, their lively fly half. Parfit makes some more yards. Gavidi has it again. And his pass is picked up, and the dancing feet of Eto Sakuru, I think that is. Still with the Asia Pacific Dragons. They get up towards the 22. Brumbies defence has been pretty firm, as we've seen in the first half. Here's a chance for Vakalitha, who scored one of the two Pacific Dragons tries. He's scragged and dragged down inside the 22, but they go again with Mark Pryor. And it's lost forward, and the Brumbies get away with it once more. Some good work on the deck. Man Ray has it. And now here they go, spreading the ball to the left, and a chance for Banks maybe to show some pace, and he's found Robinson in a bit of room. Now Robinson throws the ball infield, and Lonergan can take it further on, and the Brumbies on the march as Banks picks it up and scoots past his man, and Tom Banks is going to round off a fantastically well-worked try there. Some super pace when he needed it. The extra acceleration, that's gone from one end to the other, and what a break from the Brumbies. Brilliantly done by Robinson, Lonergan and the supporting players, and Banks had the pace to finish it off.
Great try there, asked the Brumbies. Obviously it looked like a set move, and it came off beautifully. Attacking from inside their own half, and pass to pass to pass, and Tom Banks finished it off in sensational style, and the Brumbies are back now. 14-12 with a kick to come.
Yeah, brilliantly done by the Brumbies, and Haroa adds the extras, and we're all square again. And you think great to see, Simon, that they had the vision and the pace to actually make that happen, to see the opportunity, and young Andrew Robinson played his part too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few of the young guys getting it done there, and great to watch. They opened the Dragons up there, and we may be starting to see the first signs of some tied legs in the opposition team.
We'll see if the Brumbies can kick on from here. Once again, the ball is not taken initially, but it's well picked up by Jackson Hope, who takes it into contact. Staniforth is there, and here they come again, the Brumbies. Wong this time, using his strength to try and take his way through, but its ball is scooted out from underneath him, and it'd be a line out to the Asia Pacific Dragons. A couple of times that's happened to Nigel Wong today, when he's taken it into contact.
Yeah, that's right. He's listed a couple of times in contact so far tonight, but I'm sure he'll want to make amends for that, and it won't be long before he's breaking the Dragons line.
Yeah, he made one superb break in the first half, remember, and almost had a score for Robinson. It's a chance then for the Dragons to throw this ball into the line-out. The Brumbies will contest, but they're going to recycle this one, and a chance perhaps to see release this back line, which we've seen has been pretty good throughout the whole of the match. And there's a little break on this near side. Brumbies again getting stuck into the challenge, but it's going to come back, and it's Sakuru inside to Reynolds. He's tackled well, but manages to present the ball, and Sakuru takes it on again. The Brumbies needing to defend well here at the moment. It's loose, and Jared Butler's getting involved, and he's quickest to it, and they've turned it over again, and Smiler helps it on its way, and Cusack finds Haroa, who just chips it over the top, and the chase is on perhaps for the Brumbies, but good defending initially, and here's Cornel Hendricks, and he's been tackled out on the far side. Good defensive work from the Brumbies again to snaffle the ball, and excellent from Jared Butler on the floor.
Looks like they might have got it back here again, Russ.
They certainly have, as Lonergan goes to set it up once more. Here's Sione. Big fella like Sione makes 5 or 6 metres. Takes some players with him, and Lonergan and the Brumbies starting to turn the screw a little bit here on the Asia Pacific Dragons. Staniforth steps off his foot and goes back inside, but nowhere to go, so just sets the ball up once more. Lonergan services quick to Smiler. He's over the 22, and the Brumbies going forward again. Has that been lost forward, though? No, says the referee. Here's Harrower. Good step off his foot, but he's brought down in a good tackle by Kane Bukat. But still the Brumbies come, but they've stolen it back, the Asia Pacific Dragons. Some good work from them defensively. And they've managed to turn it over and get rid of it as well. So what one side can do, so can the other, Simon.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of steals there from both sides. And now the Brumbies back on the attack.
Yeah, with Robinson off of Banks' short pass. It's got into the centre of the field and sets it up nicely for Lonergan to Staniforth. Little no-look pass inside to Harrower.
We've got two Dragons players injured down in black play here, Russ. I wouldn't be surprised if the ref stops this game shortly just while they attend to those people.
As Muirhead tried to go from Butler, and he'll have the opportunity to do so there as the ball goes into touch at one stage. As Simon said, they were playing 13 men. And looks like there's a little bit few injuries. Thankfully, it's cooled down a little since half-time.
Yeah, it feels like it's dropped from about 47 to about 46. I think it's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night for these boys. I think some of them will get some good sleep on the way home. Boys flying out straight away after this game, and overnight flight to Canberra on Singapore Airways. Yeah,
the direct flight, which will certainly make it a bit easier for the guys not having to transit through Sydney on this occasion. But yeah, as you say, it's a through the night flight, so back to Canberra tomorrow morning. Very weary-eyed, I'd imagine.
And this is a great moment for rugby in general the world over. We're going to see Christian Leali'ifano take to the field, and Thomas Cabelli as well. Thomas Cabelli, who injured his knee in a pre-season game in Mudgee against the Waratahs, and we haven't seen him since. He's going to come on at scrum half for Ryan Lonergan, and we're going to see Leali'ifano as well. 10 months out for him since he was diagnosed with leukemia, Simon, and this is another step in his recovery process.
Yeah, amazing, Russ. Great news for Thomas to come back a little bit earlier than expected from his injury, but the story here is Christian Leali'ifano. Many doubted that he'd ever step on a rugby field again. I know he didn't, and I know those close to him didn't, but certainly on the outside they thought that might been the end of his rugby career, and tonight's a very special occasion for him and those close to him. I know he's got his wife and mum and child over here all supporting him, and looks like in the next few minutes he's going to get his opportunity and re-enter the Brumbies team and do his bit. It's a great story, and will be great to see Christian get on in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's probably going to get next on the ball, because dead, you'd think, as a huge line out there, and it's thrown to the back and it's picked up by the Dragons, but the Brumbies are there in numbers looking to spoil the ball, and the Asia Pacific Dragons are going to get rid of it if they can. Lonergan's gone on the blind, and they've got a half a hand to that one, and it's going to be kept in field by Muirhead, who catches it and looks to restart a Brumbies attack, and they're into the Dragons. And Staniforth couldn't get hold of it.
Russ. Leali'ifano into the field now.
But McKellar's down there on the sideline, and he's keeping everybody waiting on this one.
No, not quite yet. Looks like they're going to pack this scrum.
Yeah, defensively, it'll be the Asia Pacific Dragons ball. Looks like Darcy Swain is going to get an opportunity as well, the young Brumbies under-20 player that plays at the Tuggeranong Vikings Club. He's a big boy as well, isn't he, Darcy Swain?
Massive, yeah. Very, very big guy. Big eater too. The buffet at the Conrad this week certainly got a copying from a lot of the players, but more in particular the bigger players. All-you-can-eat buffet at the hotel the team's been staying at.
Yeah, they were loving it, weren't they?
Oh, loving it. I'd be surprised if they ever do an all-you-can-eat buffet when the rugby team comes again, because there's an awful lot of food consumed over the last few days.
won't be letting us back. Here's Muirhead. He's taking it forward. It's 14 all here. We've had a pretty exciting game so far.
Great game. Yeah, really enjoyed it. The Dragons have really impressed me.
That's Chris Alcock. I think he's come onto the field. Is that Chris who's out there now? Or is he? Can't see because the pillar's in the way.
penalty here for the Brumbies and then a chance to go on the attack. Still no Christian Leilofano and Thomas Cabelli into the game. They're standing right on the sideline in readiness.
I would say they're warming up some, but there's no need really, is there?
No need to warm up. It can only be a matter of minutes now before we see the return of Christian Leilofano and Thomas Cabelli.
So here's Harrower to kick to touch. And to put the Brumbies in a decent attacking position, you'd hope.
Great kick there.
Yeah, he's found
and
here we
go, Russ.
Yeah, so the back at home, there's 3 substitutions coming on. Darcy Swain, Thomas Cabelli and Christian Leilofano back in action. Amazing story. Story's not over for Christian either. It's still part of his continuing recovery. It's a process for him. It's another step in the right direction though. And let's see if he can get a great reception from the crowd here. Let's see if he can get his hands on the ball and do something as well. Here's the Brumbies throwing it to the back, and the opportunity early on, the opportunity perhaps for Chris Alcock.
Really nice acknowledgement from the crowd there, Russ, to recognise both Christian and Thomas. The crowd certainly knows what both of them have been through, and in particular Christian. So lovely acknowledgement there for the crowd when the 2 players took the field. Yeah,
and let's not forget a throw for Darcy Swain as well, getting out on the field as well to play in this team, and let's see what he can do as well.
Absolutely, what an opportunity for such a young player and an up-and-coming player, and to have this kind of experience and be playing with these kind of players is invaluable.
The Asian Pacific Dragons have the scrum. We've got about half an hour to go. Still 14 all, 2 tries apiece. And that cup's still on the line. I'm sure there won't be extra time. And what a great scrum that is from the Brumbies, pushing them back, but it's been picked up well at the back by the number 13
great steal from Christian Leilofano. They've called a penalty. Christian had his hands on that. I think it was a fair play, and he was under the posts.
That would have been the dream comeback, wouldn't it? Just there, the referee's ruined it.
Yeah, he has. I don't know what he saw there. Maybe not a clear release, but I certainly saw it up here. It's look, I won't get stuck into the referee, but it looked like completely fair play from Christian there. But we'll move on.
Yeah, our referee this evening is from Japan, flown in for the match. Mr. Akisa Aso.
Done a lot of refereeing on the World Sevens series, Russ. So more so a sevens ref, but I think he's done a pretty good job tonight.
Yeah, and he's assisted by 2 local Singaporeans as well, so good for them to get some big match rugby. Busiest person tonight's one of the ball girls as well. They're wiping the ball down for the players every time it goes out of play, trying to get some of that slipperiness off it. They've done a good job too. That's taken at the front. And it's Khalid, the replacement scrum half, Hisham Khalid. The Brumbies have turned it over. And that's a big hit on Jordan Jackson Hope, and that's probably going to be a yellow card, you'd think, judging by the one that Faranui Harrower got in the first half. Hands up, admitting it.
No, it looks like he's going over to chat to his other linesman. We'll have to see a replay here, Russ. It happened very quickly, but I think he might have just got him on the shoulder.
Yeah, it looked very similar to the one that happened in the first half, and he has, to be fair, he's come over to apologise straight away. It was Cardiff Vaiga, the big Samoan, who got involved in that one, and we'll just see what's going to happen here. The referee has a chat, probably just...
card coming out here, Russ. Yep. Yellow card. Huge opportunity here for the Brumbies leading into the next drinks break.
Just talking quickly about the the Asia Pacific Dragons, Simon, they've got some good reputation. They lost 34-26 to the Force in a pre-season encounter earlier in the year, but they beat Japan in 2013 as Eddie Jones' side prepared for the Asian Five Nations. They've also achieved significant successes in the Charteris Cup, beating Saracens and a World 15 in Hong Kong, and won the Cup competition of the Hong Kong Tens 3 times. And a plethora of players have played for them, including Mills Molina, Tanu Manga, Justin Marshall, Christian Cullen, Jerry Collins, Rico Gear, George Gregan, George Smith. The list goes on and on. It's a pretty reputable team as the Brumbies take this one forward. And it's Awong bursting out of the tackle. He's past the second one. Can he step round the third? He can. And Nigel Awong, called by Simon earlier on, you said it was only a matter of time before he broke away through the couple of challenges, and the absence of Cardiff Vaiga in that centre proved costly, and Nigel Awong puts the Brumbies ahead for the first time in the game.
And it all came from a beautiful pass from Christian Leilofano there to put Nigel into some space, and with his first touch of the ball coming back from a long stint on the sideline, first touch of the ball to try assist. What else do you expect from from such a great player like Christian.
Yeah, we're going to check on the replay. The class is quality, and you were just seeing there we missed the pass, but we busted off the challenge of Kane Bukat and just ghosted around the covering number 8, who was Sione Misalai, and it wasn't going to get anywhere near him. And Christian's going to have a kick here, I think, lining it up on the far-hand side. Opportunity for him to club's record point score, I think, with 796. Opportunity for then Christian to get his name on the scoreboard, which would be nice. It's a difficult one to start with.
Yeah,
right out on the touchline there, just outside the 22. The angle pretty tough for him, but we know how good he is as a goal kicker. We'll see if he can mark his comeback by getting his name etched into the scorebook. Struck it beautifully. It's just faded though, and he's just missed that one, but struck it really well. But the Brumbies are in front by 5 points for the first time in the night, and Nigel Awong's probably deserved that one. He's threatened to do it on a couple of occasions, hasn't he? And this time he managed to keep hold of the ball and show what he's got, what class he's got.
Absolutely, he loves a hole, Nigel Awong, and he certainly found one there and really exposed it and put the Brumbies in front.
So Brumbies leading by 5, 19-14 in the 56th minute of the Austbrokers Canberra Cup. And the Asia Pacific Dragons, who've been a good challenge throughout, they'll be worried that they need probably to score next, unless the Brumbies may take this one away from them. Quick hands finds Makin in space.
Wow.
He puts his foot down, and look at this pace from Makin. He throws it wide, and it's just bounced off on Muirhead's face, and it's out for a line out. And
had a couple of vacant guys on his inside there, Les Makin, but he looked at the outside player and I think if he had gone inside then he might have seen another try there for the Brumbies. But
well, Leslie Aili Makin has many talents, and I didn't think that breaking the line at that pace was one of them, but he's certainly shown there that he's got a bit of gas.
Absolutely. Brumbies starting to really take control of this game. Set pieces been great all game, but their ball running and attacking options have been a little bit limited due to the conditions and the stickiness of the ball. But in the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes, they've really started to pick some holes in the Dragons' defence. Predicting plenty more points to follow in the next 20 minutes or so.
I wonder if Makin, when he made that break, he looked up and saw how far he was from the try line and thought the conditions were like, well, that's a long way. Tried to find Andy Muirhead, who certainly got the gas. They turned this one over. Here's Cabelli dancing through. Thomas Cabelli, what a break this is. He's still going, Cabelli. Inside pass is Mayhew taking it towards the line. They won't stop him, surely. And he rolls over to score.
Great try.
Done. It's Tommy Cusack again in support.
My fault. Great vision from Thomas Cabelli there. Talk about a great first touch. Saw an opportunity, ran the ball, and 5 points for the reward.
Yeah, apologies for that. Tommy Cusack was the man in support. And fantastic stuff again from Tommy Cusack. His second try of the game. He's got up there in support, and it's all come though from a break from Thomas Cabelli, who stepped off his left foot onto his right and made the breakthrough. And when he got away, the support was there for Tommy Cusack, who gets his second try of the game, and he's having a good match, Tommy.
Really good match, very impressive.
Well, Christian Lealiafano is going to have this conversion attempt, and this one is a lot easier than the one he had a moment ago, so we'd expect him to knock this one over and extend the lead further. Tommy Cusack's coming off to a well-deserved break and 2 tries. Excellent support work on both occasions that he scored. And Sione Taula's come on as well. The prop forward from the Vikings as Lealiafano just strokes this one through the posts, calmly done. Christian back amongst the points, and the Brumbies with a comfortable lead now, 26-14 with 22 minutes to go, and they are just edging away from the Asia Pacific Dragons challenge.
Yeah, that's right. I think the fitness definitely coming into play in this last patch of the game, and it just appears that the Brumbies might be a little bit fitter, and it'll really help them in the back quarter of this match. Dragons starting to slow down a little bit. But another try would put them right back into it.
Darcy Swade takes that kick off. It shows good leg drive to make a few metres. And set it up for Cabelli. Smiler, Man Ray along the line. Banks. Here's Lealiafano. Here they come again. Ball out wide to Muirhead, who's got pace. He's past one. He's thrown it in field. Here's Jackson Hope. Can he finish this off? Here come the Brumbies once more. Inside with Kubeli again. This is
wow.
brilliant stuff. And Jordan
Beautiful
Smiler
try.
is going to score the try. And the Brumbies have just gone coast to coast near enough. And it's an absolute cracker again, reminiscent of the score against the Hurricanes back in Super Rugby. Some wonderful stuff, hands and backs and forwards combining, brilliant stuff.
Absolutely, Russ. As you said, only a metre or two out from their own try line. Most sides would have kicked it and set up for the line out, but the Brumbies backed themselves there, used the hands, got it out to the wing, and as a result, they've got the points.
How good is it to see the forwards in support at the other end of the field? You know, you get the breaks from Kubeli and Jackson Hope and Muirhead, but it's a forward who's on hand to cross over the line as well, showing some superb fitness and, you know, to get up there and help.
Absolutely. Great try from the Brumbies.
So Christian Leleafano is going to look for the conversion here. This would extend the leads to 33-14 if he can kick this one. Again, it's in the shadow of the post, so it should be reasonably straightforward for him, and it certainly is. And the Brumbies are edging away with this one at the moment with 20 minutes to go. It's 33 points to 14. And we're going to have a bit of a drinks break for a couple of minutes. And we'll just go through what's been happening if you've just tuned in. It's Osbrokers Canberra Cup. It's the Brumbies 33, the Asia Pacific Dragons 14. It's been quite an entertaining game. The Pacific Dragons took the lead early on with a try from Coletta, but the Brumbies hit back. Cusack scoring the first of his 2 tries on the evening. The Dragons, through Misseloy, went back in front. The tries from Tom Banks, Nigel Arwong, Tommy Cusack the second one, and Jared Butler have put the Brumbies in very good control. Here's the last try. Here's Jackson Hope went through. Kubeli's pass, quick hands from Thomas Kubeli, and Smiler was never going to be stopped from there, crossing over by the posts. Captain for the evening, Jordan Smiler, and your Plus500 Brumbies doing pretty well at the moment. As the music plays in the background, and we just have this opportunity to grab a quick drink. As we mentioned earlier, it's thanks to the support of all the sponsors that we are here today. Tourism Australia, UC and University of Canberra, who sponsor Canberra, and of course Osbrokers and Canberra Tourism as well, and the ACT government. The Brumbies, under the stewardship of Dan McKellar, walking out of our picture just there for this evening. Emptying the bench as you'd expect, and good to see that the young lads from the representative teams in Canberra, the club sides, are getting a run. George Morceau, the Royals' second-grade winger, he was a couple of weeks ago, and he's getting a run for the Brumbies now. He's out there on the field on that left wing. So he's got an opportunity to show what he's got, and he's got serious pace as well, so we're told. So the final 20 minutes of this match, plenty of time for more tries from both teams. Brumbies in particular will be looking to add to the ones they've already got.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, last 20 minutes of the
And we're about to kick off again.
Let's give it up one more time for the Asia Pacific Dragons at the Plus500 Brumbies.
So the 5 tries for the Brumbies this evening. So we're back and away. Kick didn't quite go to the 10, it didn't look, and the referee is going to pull them back. Just a matter of inches away from making the 10 metres it needed, but the Brumbies will get a scrum right in a good position on the halfway line. Opportunity both sides if they set this one up properly. Right behind the pillar there, strategically placed. Just packing down in front of us. The Brumbies, as I said, looking to add to the tries they've already got on the board. 2 from Tommy Cusack, Jared Butler, Tom Banks has got one, and Nigel Arwong as well. And they're still looking to get a settled scrummage. As you mentioned earlier, decent crowd in here this evening watching this one, all on this near side. As Lonergan puts it into as Kubeli puts it into the scrum. He gets it back again off the back row from Butler, and a short pass to Wong. The hands are going quickly through the motions again, and Muirhead steps away from a couple and finds Kubeli outside him. He throws it back in field. Here's Muirhead once again to Butler. It's great stuff from the Brumbies, and here's a chance for Kubeli, but he couldn't quite get hold of it, and it's out of play a couple of metres from the try line. But once again, the Brumbies showing some real attacking flair, putting the ball through hands, forwards and backs combining well, and just at the last moment, Thomas Kubeli couldn't grab that ball above his head, and the chance goes begging. But so the Brumbies and their supporters, with plenty of these boys looking to force their way into the first team picture, alongside the 8 Wallabies who are away on international duty. And they've snaffled that one at the front. Was involved, I think. Here's Kubeli. Chance perhaps for Alcock. He's going close to the line as well, and they're not going to stop him. And Chris Alcock rolls his way over and adds his name to the growing list of try scorers, and the score is threatening to blow out here as the Brumbies score for the 6th time in the game. And Chris Alcock off the bench, he's had a fantastic season as well. Signed from the Western Force in the off-season and really put a marker down. And the Brumbies have more than one hand on the Osbrokers Canberra Cup at the moment, as Leali'ifano will look to bring up 40 points. Once again, it's a relatively simple kick for someone of his quality. And again, just chipped through the middle, and that's 3 conversions since he's come on for Christian Leali'ifano. And the Brumbies keep the scoreboard ticking over nicely, and the fans enjoying what they're seeing here at the Queenstown Stadium in Singapore. The Brumbies leading 40 points to 14. And the bench completely emptied now, so it's good to see all these youngsters getting an opportunity. And Reynolds will restart for the Asia Pacific Dragons, who flagged a bit visibly. Well taken by Muirhead. Looks to clear to touch right-footed, and he's done well to take the ball up to halfway. And noticeably, the Brumbies have 3 men there to stop the quick one. And whereas in the first half, the Asia Pacific Dragons were looking for those quick line-outs, they look a little bit dead on their feet at the moment. They need to find a spark of energy and enthusiasm to see them through this final 15 minutes or so, or the scoreline may well build in favour of the Plus500 Brumbies. Gaspar Tan will throw this one in. He's a Singaporean international hooker. He goes to the back, over the head of everybody, and Kubeli's going to find it, and is helped on its way by Butler, and the Brumbies are off and running again in midfield. And here's Jackson Hope, and they're not going to stop Jordan Jackson Hope, and he coasts away to score behind the posts, and yet another Brumbies try, and everything they touch at the moment is turning to gold dust. And Leali'ifano was involved again in the build-up, and there's some quick hands in there from Jared Butler too, and the Brumbies just looking in irresistible form as Jordan Jackson Hope adds his name to the scoreboard, which keeps ticking over, and the Brumbies now on 45 to 14. Christian Leali'ifano will line up yet another conversion attempt. And it's all going swimmingly well for the Brumbies at the moment, getting what they want, which was a hard hit out in the first half, and now they're putting their foot on the gas and coming away, scoring plenty of points and looking the goods. As Leali'ifano slots over his 4th conversion.
Plus500 Brumbies at 47, Asia Pacific Dragons at 14.
So at 47-14, Brumbies looking home and dry. I'm taking the cup back to Canberra. Asia Pacific Dragons, as I mentioned in the first half, have just come back from Mauritius, where they took part in the tens, as did the Brumbies development team. As Banks kinks that one downfield. Toa offloads. And Khalid is involved there, but he's been dragged in, so it's going to have to come back again a different way. And Reynolds this time with the left foot is high up in the air. Christian Leilefano is under it. Easily takes it, and off he starts his backs again with Banks, who takes it to the line, and Ah Wong is in support. And here they come again. A little chip through from Ah Wong. Jackson Hope's after it. Can the bounce go there for Jackson Hope? He needs it ahead. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to grab his second in as many minutes. Jordan Jackson Hope, but once again, some thrilling stuff from the Brumbies backs. Leilefano started it. Banks took it on, and then there was a recognition from the back line that Jackson Hope was in support, and he's over for his second try in the space of a minute and a half, and the Brumbies are really running away with this one now. It's 52-14, and you think there may be plenty more to come before the evening's out. Jordan Jackson Hope getting his name onto the score sheet for the second time, and the Brumbies tally continues to mount. And nice for Christian again, he's going to have another simple kick in front of the posts for himself. They've actually, the kicking for the Brumbies tonight has been pretty good. They've been in good positions. The only one that missed was the one from Christian Leilefano just when he came on the field. It was just out wide on the touchline. He's going to add the extras here, and the Brumbies will move even further ahead to 54 points to 14.
Plus 500 Brumbies 54, Asia Pacific Dragons 14.
If you haven't guessed, we're flying solo again here as Simon's had to pop off to do some commercial duties as we're watching the replay. Here was Ah Wong, and the recognition to just jab it through, and Jackson Hope just needed on there, and once he got away from his man, he was always going to score. The bounce was kind to him, and he just dabbed it down behind the posts. Good try from Jordan Jackson Hope, another one who re-signed with the club recently. High hopes and for a promising future for Jordan Jackson Hope. Here's Cabelli, Staniforth, Banks, Leilefano. Pass was at the feet of Muirhead, but he comes back in field, and Staniforth, who's had a strong game this evening, is there again. Like to see Morso get a touch of the ball out wide and show us his pace. It may go his way on this occasion. Here's Hine, here's Towler. Big Sione Towler takes it forward, and the recycle is good, and here's Jackson Hope, now Ah Wong, now Morso. First chance for him to show what he's got, and he tries to go around the outside rather of Cornel Hendricks, and is bundled into touch. But the Brumbies once again showing good invention, running from deep. And a few players down, and a bit of cramp coming in, I think, to the Asia Pacific Dragons. Chance for us once again to thank Osbrokers Canberra for the support in putting this match on. The Osbrokers Canberra Cup up for grabs today. And the Brumbies very grateful for all their financial support from their sponsors. It's getting a bit cooler, as Simon mentioned earlier on, and that's going to be a good thing for the players, but they'll know they've been in an effort this afternoon and this evening, and both teams have done superbly well in what's been a decent exhibition match here in Singapore. Combination of a week's activities for the Brumbies, who fly home straight away after this one. A chance perhaps then for them to go once again. Here's Leilefano. Flat pass to Jackson Hope, who steps off his foot and goes through and past one. In support is Chris Olcock. He's got runners outside him. He can't find Muirhead though, but it's going to come back for Ah Wong, who flips it up, and Ben Hine just grabs it in with one of those big paws of his, takes it up to the 22. Brumbies once again on the front foot. Here's Tom Staniforth charging up towards the line. Cabelli. Little snake inside ball from Cabelli, and Muirhead's away, and Muirhead goes past one, past the second, in towards 5 meters of the line. It's a chance for the Brumbies. Abel's there. It's been popped out, but it's been picked off by the Asia Pacific Dragons, but they were offside, and the Brumbies will have the opportunity to tap and go, or will they try a set-piece move? Thomas Cabelli's taken control of this. Wouldn't surprise me if they opt for a scrum right here, and they do. Chance for them to show their power once again, and chance for the likes of Sione Taula to show what he's got in the front row with Robbie Abel and Nick Mayhew. Formidable looking front row, with 7 minutes or so to play. And the Brumbies looking in good shape. Thomas Cabelli to put the ball in. Just a bit of a break while we wait for the scrums to pack. Now the opportunity for the Brumbies to add to the 8 tries they've scored already this evening. Thomas Cabelli to put it in. It's out very quickly, and Cabelli snipes down this side, but it wasn't there for him, and it's been picked up. And I think the foot was in touch, though, as Jone Nasalu looked to break away down the wing and wasn't quite able to keep his feet in the field of play. Unfortunate there for Cabelli and Muirhead, just not on the same wavelength, as Cabelli tried to put the winger over for a score. Andy Muirhead, who had a breakthrough tour of South Africa and Argentina for the Brumbies, crossing for a brace of tries off the bench in Buenos Aires in the win over the Jaguares. And one of those players who's really taken his opportunity this season is Robbie Abel. Back on the field for Man Ray. Staniforth takes it. Cabelli. Flat ball from Jackson Hope. The Brumbies looking to set up an opportunity once more. Mayhew burrows forwards, and Cabelli couldn't get hold of the ball, and it's a spat out the back where Leleafano tidies up to Banks, who puts his foot down, and Tom Banks again off on a run, finds Muirhead. He steps infield. It's well tackled by the Asia Pacific Dragons, but you sense that there's something coming here again for the Brumbies. Here's Staniforth, not shy of contact, Tom Staniforth. It's there once again for Cabelli. Now Mayhew, little short pass to Alcock. Chris Alcock can't make any further meters, but Cabelli's there again. There's numbers out wide. Here's Ao Wong. And he's dragged down on the 22, and the Brumbies will have to come back to the right with Jarrah Butler. Cabelli again. Now Alcock again. Good hit by Kane Bukat coming out of defence to try and force the Brumbies back. But they're there once more. Several phases this one. Here's Leleafano, a little dab through, but it's bounced off of a Brumbies player, Asia Pacific Dragons player, and they have the ball now to the APDs, and here they come with an opportunity perhaps to show us what they've got in the backline. But Reynolds kicks forward, and the chase is on for Nasolo, and he will chase down Andy Muirhead, but the ball will beat both of them, and it'll be a Brumbies throw-in as we come into the last 4 minutes of the match, and the Brumbies leading by 40 points, 54-14. I think it's been a worthwhile exercise for the boys out there tonight. I'm sure the management of the Brumbies, Dan McKellar sitting in the stands, and Damien Hill as well, will be very happy with what they're seeing. And hopefully Stephen Larkham as well, if he's tuning in while the Wallabies are preparing for their international match against Italy this weekend. He's probably having a look at this to see what his lads are up to while he's away. And I think he'd be pretty pleased with some aspects of the game that he's seen. Robbie Abel will look to get us back in the way. Perhaps there's one last chance in the final couple of minutes for the Brumbies to show what they've got. Thrown to the back where Hind takes. Cabelli to Leleafano. Jackson Hope, lovely inside ball to Muirhead. Here they go with Banks, now more so. As we said, he's got a bit of gas. He's got away from his man, George Morceau, and off he goes, and no one's going to catch him. And look at the pace from little George Morceau. He's away, and the Royals winger is going to score behind the posts, and that's why he's on this tour. He's got sheer gas, and the acceleration was quite frightening when he got there, and he was away, and they were never going to catch him. And that's a super try. And if that's the last one we see this evening, it's certainly one that's well worth looking at again. And George Morceau will remember that one for as long as he lives. It's a great score, and the Brumbies out to 59 points with the conversion to come. Their 9th of the evening. George Morceau adding his name to the ever-growing list of try scorers. And Thomas Cabelli is going to take this conversion. So Christian Lealiafano's come back with 10 points with 5 conversions, and here's a chance for Thomas Cabelli to mark his return with 2 points as well. And the Argentinian scrum half unlikely to miss this one, and he doesn't, just pops it over the posts. And the referee is going to call the game a couple of minutes early, I think, and he does. As Cabelli kicks it over, we decide that that's enough for the evening, with a couple of minutes still to play officially, but it doesn't matter. The Osbroker Canberra Cup will go to the ACT Brumbies, the +500 Brumbies, who have played some superb rugby this evening in scoring 9 tries. They've looked a class act. It was a good first half from the Asia Pacific Dragons to force the Brumbies onto the back foot, and they actually looked a really good side for long periods of the game. But towards the end, the class, the pace and the skill, as we watch George Morceau round off the evening with the 9th try of the day. The class, the skill, the pace and the power of the +500 Brumbies was the difference. 9 tries in all, as I said, 2 for Tommy Cusack and Jordan Jackson Hope. Single scores for Jared Butler, Tom Banks, Chris Alcock, Nigel Awong, and of course George Morceau. 5 conversions from Christian Lealiafano, 2 from Whananui Harawa, and 1 from Thomas Cabelli. And if nothing else, today will be remembered for the return to action of 2 fantastic rugby players. Thomas Cabelli, after his knee injury, as we mentioned in the game against the Waratahs in Mudgee, coming back onto the rugby field much sooner than expected. And of course, the emotional return for Christian Lealiafano as well, back to rugby action 10 months after his diagnosis of leukemia. As we mentioned, it's another step on his recovery process. He's not there yet, but he is making rapid strides, and his class was all to see. There were some touches of magic out there from the old Christian Lealiafano, and the Brumbies in total looked a good outfit. Good hit out for them. They've got matches coming up against the Reds and the Chiefs, both away from home, before the quarter-final on the 21st of July. If you're in Canberra, and you can get the opportunity to get to that match, do so. It's going to be an absolute cracker on a Friday night there in Canberra. Quarter-final knockout cup tie. It's going to be a huge game for both of those teams. But here in Singapore, thanks for your company this evening. I've been Russ Gibbs, media manager of the +500 Brumbies. I was here with Simon Chester, the commercial manager of the team as well. Thanks to everybody involved in the sponsorship and the broadcast. The Osbrokers Canberra Cup will go to the +500 Brumbies with the final score: the Brumbies 61, Asia Pacific Dragons 14.